Most people struggle with swing trading not because they don't know patterns, but they don't know how to find a trade in the first place. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I find trades and what I look at on the chart before I even put money into that swing. Make sure you get this video to 100 likes and let's get straight to the video. The screener I use to find my personal swing trades is called Finviz. This is where I narrow the entire market to a small list of stocks that are actually worth looking at instead of wasting time scrolling through random charts. So when I'm on Finviz, the first thing I set is market cap. I usually filter for mid to large caps, which on Finviz puts me roughly in that 1 billion to 100 billion range. I'm not interested in micro caps or tiny names for swing trading. These stocks have real liquidity, institutions are involved, and the charts tend to respect structure a lot better. That's exactly what I want when I'm holding trades for days or weeks. Next is average volume. I personally set this to at least like 1 to 2 million shares a day. Anything below that, I don't even want to see it. Low volume stocks look fine until you're actually in the trade. Then spreads widen, levels don't hold, and you guys get the point. Volume is what allows a swing trade to actually follow through instead of stalling out after one day. And then after that, I set the price. I usually filter for stocks above $10, not because lower price stocks can't move, but because higher price names tend to be cleaner and more consistent in my opinion. You have less noise, fewer random spikes, and better behavior around those key levels that will mark. For me, it's just easier to trade quality. After that, I look at relative value. I set this to greater than 1. That tells me today's volume is higher than normal. As we know, some things can change, maybe accumulation, maybe rotation, maybe early attention. Whatever it is, that's usually where swing setups start forming before the crowd starts to notice. And lastly, I pay attention to sector. If I'm being honest, I don't hard filter this every single time, but I always check it to be honest. If money is flowing into a sector, I want to be trading names in that specific sector. And a good chart in a weak sector can fail, and a decent chart in a strong sector has way better odds in my opinion. So by the time I'm done with these filters, I'm not staring at 100 stocks. I'm looking at a short list of names that already meet the basic requirements for a swing trade. Now enough talking, let's get to the chart. I notice people obsessed with patterns, but completely ignore where those patterns are forming. I care way more about location than the actual setup. Is price near prior highs? Let's just say, is it pulling back into an old resistance area? One thing you'll start noticing with my swing setups is that they get pretty quiet before they start moving. And that's usually the market telling you that selling pressure is drying up and buyers are just waiting. And once that balance breaks, you tend to get that big breakout. This is the specific part where most people get impatient. And I get it, if you're a new trader, you don't want to be holding stuff for days or weeks, but you guys have to start getting into the mindset that the longer you hold, the more control you have over that specific trade. Especially if you're working, if you have a family, there's no need to be staring at your laptop for 4 hours when you actually have responsibilities during the day. That's why I always suggest to do all of this work prior, before the market opens. Then you get your entry and then you're smooth sailing from there. Now, the first thing you should be looking at on a chart is this overall structure. Make sure to always zoom out and ask yourself a simple question. Is this stock trending, basing, or just chopping around? If it's making cleaner, higher highs and higher lows, that should automatically give you the green light. If it's not trending, you want to see a clear base or something more controlled and obvious. If it's just all over the place with no type of pattern, I'm personally out. I don't have time trading random price action, especially in this current market. And then from there, you look where price is sitting right now, not where it was yesterday. That is why I always say location matters more than anything. For me personally, I like seeing stocks pulling back into prior resistance areas that could act as support. Also, I like to see consolidation just below the highs or tightening up after a strong move. So of course, on the chart, this is where I'm drawing my specific zones. These are the areas where price clearly reacted before. Next, I focus on price behavior inside those specific zones. If you start to see big red candles or the ranges start widening and momentum is going against the trend, just leave it alone. But if the pullback is small, candles start to overlap, that's exactly what you want to start seeing before you enter a swing trade. By the way, this is the same exact process I go through in the Discord. Right now, the Discord is full and it's not open, but when it opens back up, I only announce it through the newsletter. So if you want spots when that happens, make sure you're on the list. Now let's get back to it. From here, I start to look at time. If a stock breakout and collapses shortly after, we've all been there before, don't chase it. I'd rather see price spend days, sometimes weeks, going sideways or slowly grinding higher. I'm not drawing 10 lines like you see on YouTube or all these people on Twitter. I'm just drawing 2 or 3 areas. These levels help me define risk before I even enter a trade. And that's another big thing I want you guys to keep in mind. Risk has to make sense before the reward. If you can't clearly say, if price breaks this level, I'm wrong, then you shouldn't be in the trade in the first place. Remember that swing trading isn't about being right all the time. It's about knowing when you're wrong quickly. quickly. Only after everything I just said in this video, that is when I start looking at entries. This is why most of my swing trades feel boring when I enter them. They don't feel exciting like you see all the day traders, but honestly, that's the goal. If a setup feels rushed or forced, I skip it. To me, the best swing trades usually come from doing less. I'm putting together a free video course that goes deeper into these exact concepts. It drops on the 15th, so make sure you're ready for that. If this helped, drop a like, comment what you want me to break down next, and I'll see you in the next video.